All right, well, allergies, that's an important topic.
Yeah.
You know how many times I can sneeze in a row.
Yeah, the record is 14, right?
It is 14. I always strive for 15. I haven't gotten to it yet, but it is certainly coming one day soon. All right, how is it outside weather-wise? Because obviously everybody's got to deal with their allergies outside as well. So what does it look like out there right now?
Not too bad right now. This afternoon it was actually really nice once we got through all the lightning and thunder and everything this morning, all that crazy weather. We're going to do that again tonight, unfortunately, but today it was actually pretty nice in terms of the weather. We got up to 88 for that high temperature, so all of that heat this afternoon, there is plenty of energy in the atmosphere for storms to go off of this evening. We had a big complex of storms last night go right over these three counties just to our south. Falfurrias, the clear winner for rainfall totals for the day. Here in Corpus Christi, just a little over 1/10 of an inch of rain. Unfortunately, we could definitely be using some more, and we have plenty more in our forecast. Here's a look at satellite and radar right now. 73 in Corpus Christi. Pretty much everywhere else other than Refugio still in the 70s at this time, and we're starting to see the first little bits of rain come in from our southwest just to the south of Hebronville at this time. So that is all part of this system that we mentioned earlier at the top of the newscast, making its way right up to the border here, and that is eventually going to slide eastward through the state of Texas. Now, I went ahead and I put these contours, the yellow and the green under here. That's the severe risk. We'll talk a little bit more about that in just a minute, but I wanted to throw it on here just so you can see how these storms pretty much track right through the middle of this yellow area, which, by the way, most of the coastal bend is in. So here's Futurecast. We start out with these storms moving in, stopping this at 2 a.m. You can see it's starting to try to split some of these storms with this little cluster going to the south. The other short-term model that I look at doesn't really have too much going on down here, but it does keep a lot of activity, again, right in this yellow box here through the center of the coastal bend. Pushing forward a little bit longer, it does agree with the other model. About 4 o'clock through sunrise, more storms making their way through the coastal bend, getting to the coast, again, right around sunrise. Pushing a little bit further into later tomorrow morning and early tomorrow afternoon. This is where I start to disagree with this model just a little bit. It's still got some pretty robust thunderstorm activity going on into tomorrow afternoon. While I do think we're still going to carry a rain chance into tomorrow afternoon, though it will be lower, I think it'll be more shower activity with a couple of smaller thunderstorms. Here's that severe risk that we talked about. Again, most of the coastal bend in this 2 out of 5 or a slight risk. So the main concerns that we're going to be talking about in terms of severe weather is going to be hail and wind. The biggest of those two probably going to be hail for the concerns, but wind, especially if those storms are able to conglomerate into one bigger line or one bigger system, that wind risk will increase a little bit more. In terms of flooding, we do have a low risk, especially in those areas like Falfurrias that have already seen a couple inches of rain, but most places in the coastal bend can definitely take another inch or two at this point. Pretty dry this evening, but heading into the next couple of hours, we're really going to see those rain chances ramp up, especially by midnight and 2 o'clock. You saw in Futurecast that radar really going to start to fill out. Then we're going to start to see some strong to severe storms potentially. Again, that is potential. Not every single storm that we see is going to be severe, so just keep that in mind. Now here's Futurecast, the one that I do agree with a little bit more, starting tomorrow right around lunchtime. We're going to keep the clouds in here, even though we've got this cold front finally pushing through the coastal bend. We're not necessarily going to clear out in terms of our skies, so we're still keeping some of those spotty showers like I mentioned and the cloud cover. Tomorrow afternoon, even behind the front, temperatures in the upper 70s, right around 80, possibly breaking 80 if you are able to get more clear skies than is anticipated. By Monday morning, we're still having rain in the forecast as well as cloudy skies, temperatures kicking off the work week in the 60s. In terms of rainfall, here's what we're looking at: anywhere from a ½ inch to an inch of rain up to 2 inches of rain up in the watershed. So that would be very beneficial for our stage 2 water restrictions if a lot of that rainfall is able to fall right over that watershed by San Antonio. Tonight has one of our higher rain chances at 70%. It's not on here, but I promise it's there. And then heading into tomorrow, about a 50% chance before dropping off Monday and Tuesday. Just an isolated shot at a shower before picking back up again as a low pressure moves from the desert southwest, where it's been hanging all week long, and finally coming over the state of Texas, bringing us even more rain chances. Heading into tonight, some heavy rain and a few stronger storms. 68 for that low temperature temperature tonight, and then heading into tomorrow afternoon, a high of 79 with some storms remaining here in the coastal bend. But overall, a quieter afternoon in general for your St. Patrick's Day. Heading into Tuesday, we continue to see a northeasterly wind and easterly wind. That brings a little bit cooler air in here, getting us into the 60s for our highs. And finally, on the other side of this week, we'll finally see some sunshine next weekend. Brandon.
All right, thank you, Chris.